totally should have scripted this. This is not great. So, as some of you might know, I'm a high school student and I'm currently taking a psychology class. In that class, we are focusing on addiction. So, in order to help us sort of figure out what addiction is like, we have been given a task to simulate addiction using ice cubes. It is called the ice cube simulation. For 48 hours, we are not allowed to drink any liquid that doesn't have an ice cube in it. So anything we drink has to have an ice cube in it. We have to either put an ice cube in it or find a way to have it served to us with ice cubes. Otherwise, we can't drink it. There are a series of rules that come with this simulation. Rule 1, given that your craving for ice cubes is incredibly strong, the only way to satisfy this need is to put every single liquid substance you consume with ice. Every single thing we have to drink, it has to have ice in it. This includes drinking soda, milk, coffee, hot cocoa, anything that we can drink, we have to put ice in it. Rule number 2, you must not talk to anyone outside of the ice cube culture, which is the psychology class, about the situation for 48 hours. The only people who know about your addiction are the other ice cube addicts or dealers. Society condemns dependence on ice cubes. You could be expelled, fired, ostracized, or arrested for your addictive use of ice cubes. Number 3, no one should see you adding the drug, ice cubes, to your drinks. Skip rule number 4. Rule number 5, an hourly log must be kept every waking hour during the exercise. Rule number 6, this is only a simulation. No laws or morals should be broken to fill the requirements of the simulation. If we felt the need, we could terminate it. We just had to explain why. And rule number 7, turn in your hourly log as well as a 1-page write-up of your experiences and your reaction to the simulation. For me, the hourly log has been a regular video log, and the 1-page write-up is basically this video. So, we're going to get into and talk about my experiences during this 48-hour experiment. I'm actually going to start the day before, because the day before I went absolutely insane. There's still a huge bottle of water in the back of my car because I was insanely thirsty that day, and it was the last day I could actually go out and get something to drink without having to worry about having ice in it. Honestly, it scared me a little bit, but we were fine. Start of day 1 went perfectly smoothly.
Hi, this is day 1 of the ice cube experiment. I have not had anything to drink yet this morning, but I was thinking of making myself a hot chocolate, so we'll have to do that.
So, we got 2 upsides to this. 1, I don't have school for the rest of the week, so I can get ice whenever I want. The only problem with that is the supply of ice is in the living room, and that is where most of my family spends most of their time. So we're gonna have to get around that. We're gonna have to be sneaky. 2, they have like big bottles of like water, usually. I don't drink much, but when I do, it's a lot. So I should be able to just fill up bottles of ice and that'll be fine. Since I didn't have school, and since I don't normally drink a lot anyway, it was completely fine. I didn't feel very different. The one problem was the movies. So, I forgot to log, but we went out for lunch, and I got a drink. Luckily, I knew for a fact that restaurant had ice, so crisis averted. We're going to the movie theater
and they don't have ice. So I might have to have a glass, like a big glass of water before we go, so I'm not thirsty the whole time. That is gonna be a bit of a dilemma. Okay, so my plan is to fill this whole bottle with ice, but I can't drink the rest of it at the moment because there's no ice in it. So I'll have to fill it up with ice, then drink it, and fill it up with more ice, all without getting caught. That's gonna be real fun. Mission somewhat successful.
I did get a little bit thirsty, like towards the end of the movie, just because I had had a cookie and they're quite dry and you need to have water with it, but I held off and I was fine.
It is currently 10 o'clock. I just finished watching a movie. I am very thirsty, but I can't go and get ice without getting caught, so I'll hold off in the morning, where I can just go early in the morning and get some. Should be fine. Yeah, not feeling too different, which is good. I mean, it is ice, but you know. Yeah.
Day 2, I forgot to log quite a bit.
It is day 2 of the ice cube study experiment thing. Not much has been going on, and the living room has been largely not occupied. So I've been able to get ice pretty much whenever I want. Woo!
There really wasn't much going on. I didn't feel much thirstier. There wasn't too much of a difference, and I really didn't drink that much that day anyway. So altogether, really wasn't that bad. This experiment overall was pretty mundane, considering we're trying to simulate addiction, but you can definitely feel the starts of an effect here and there. And it's really interesting to think that something like that could actually happen with something as little as ice cubes. The plans that I would come up with in order to get around not having to drink instead of just bringing ice with me or something like that. Instead, I would just opt for having a whole bunch and then not having any for a prolonged amount of time. And it was really interesting to see how that sort of side to me would actually play out if something like that might have happened. Pretty decent experiment. If I could change one thing, it would probably be what we're actually being addicted to, because I think there are more addicting things, maybe like sugar, that would be easier to simulate the addictive process as opposed to ice. And I mean, many of us are actually addicted to sugar, so going off it for 48 hours or only being able to have a specific amount, things like that, might be better, but I'm not sure. I think the ice actually did pretty well. I wasn't too surprised with what I decided to do. I sort of have little bits of those habits all over the place with my daily life, but it was interesting to think about and really pseudo-experience what I might be like being addicted to a substance. And it was really interesting to reflect on.